Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Today, inshallah, we will discuss one of the Sahabas who was also a youth at the time of Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And this Sahabi is Abdullah ibn Umar ibn Khattab. Do you guys know who this is? Have you heard of Abdullah ibn Umar? His father was Umar ibn Khattab. His father was among those people who the Prophet ﷺ gave them the glad tidings that they will enter Jannah. Right? Not only that, also his father also was the second Khalifa, so second Caliphate. So Abdullah ibn Umar anhu, he was born the year number 2 at the time of Sallallahu was actually when Sallallahu was actually pronounced as a prophet. So remember the Prophet ﷺ, when he was given the prophethood, he was in Mecca, correct? And how long has he stayed there?
13 years.
In Mecca?
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, you're correct. I don't know why you're doubting yourself. So he was 13 years there, right? So year number 2 was when Abdullah ibn Umar was born, right? And year number 10 or year number 11, when Abdullah ibn Umar was actually what you call 10 years, he became Muslim along with his father, right? So he accepted Islam at the age of 10 years old, right? So then what happened was he actually made the hijrah with his father at the age of 13. So it means that he migrated from Mecca into, he was among the Muslims, early Muslims who actually what you call derived from Mecca, and they seek refuge in Medina, right? So they were immigrants in Medina. Now, what you have to understand is Abdullah ibn Umar also was a brother-in-law of who? Of the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ was married to Hafsa bint Umar, right? So Hafsa is his sister, and Umar is Abdullah ibn Umar is her father, he has a brother. So Abdullah ibn Umar in essence was also the brother-in-law of who? Of Prophet ﷺ. Now Abdullah ibn Umar, he had then unchecked access to the Prophet ﷺ. There were 3 Abdullahs: Abdullah ibn Abbas, Abdullah ibn Zubair, and Abdullah ibn Abbas. All of them, they had a marital relationship with Prophet. Either he was married to his sisters, or he was married to either his aunt, right? And so Abdullah ibn Umar anhu, he migrates to Mecca, to Medina, sorry, at the age of 13. Now, when the Battle of Badr came, he was 14 years old, right? Now, there's some books that actually say that he was 13 years old, right, when the Battle of Badr came. And he was very young, so the Prophet ﷺ did not allow him to what? To participate. So Battle of Uhud came again 1 year later, and he was also a kid. He was only 14 years old, and the Prophet ﷺ did not allow him to do. So when the Battle of Khandaq, the one of the trenches, came, he was allowed to participate. He was 15 years old. And after that, he participated in all other major wars. Not only that, and any expedition the Prophet ﷺ sent, he was among them. And so, not only that, when he was with the Prophet, he actually stayed with the Prophet ﷺ, with him every time at the masjid, and also when he goes to his home, to Hafsa house. And Abdullah ibn Umar, he narrated a lot of hadith that way. He was known for a couple of things. He was very intelligent. He was known for studious. Like he was very studious, and also at the same time he was someone who was very pious. Imagine he's only a teenager, but he was known to follow the Sunnah of Prophet step by step, to the point where, inshallah, we'll discuss later, is that when he went to Mecca I mean, one time for Hajj, he did everything according to Prophet ﷺ, to the point whereby when his camel came, he made his camel sit exactly at the place where the Prophet ﷺ sat, facing the way he was facing. I mean, this is he was very strict, he was known for this. And Abdullah ibn Umar was among the big scholars of the Sahaba at the time, because he memorized the Quran, and he has a lot of riwayas with hadith. And how did he accumulate this knowledge? Say that when Abdullah ibn Umar, he wasn't with the Prophet ﷺ at the masjid or anywhere, and he got busy with something else, he will ask the people around him, and who witnessed Prophet majlis, and he will ask them that, what did Prophet say, what happened at that time, what did he do? So even when he was not with the Prophet ﷺ, he also gathered knowledge from ﷺ from the people. And he actually narrated 2,630 hadith from ﷺ. Now the question is, you guys now, some of you are 18, 20, right? Correct?
Yeah.
How many of you have hadith you memorize 100 hadith? Very few among us here. He memorized 2,630 hadith from ﷺ. And Abdullah Abbas, he was known, like I said, not only was known for his knowledge, but also he was known as somebody who was abid naqiyan. I mean, he was a worshipper of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he was very pure in his worship. And when Abdullah ibn Umar, when he was about his age 20, somewhere 21, he had what you call a dream. And the dream is, two angels came to him. And first of all, before he went to bed, he said, "Oh Allah, show me my place with Rasulullah." Like he wanted to see how close he was to Rasulullah, right? So he wanted to see that dream. And then what happened is, when he slept that night, two angels came to him. Then the third one joined. So they took him. And they took him like right across the hellfire. Like they showed him the hellfire. Like they put him standing at the edge of the hellfire. They didn't throw him there. He sees the people are there, and he sees these people are there, like kind of like they are in a what do you call in a well. Like he says, the hellfire looked like a well. People are kind of inside it, and they were kind of like what do you call mixed in that, with the fire there. And he stood there, and they were just stand there. So he was so shaken. They took him back. They say, "You don't belong here." So he was shaken. He woke up in the morning, and he went to his sister. And he says, "I had this dream. Can you go ask her what it means?" Right? So Sa'ad says, "Ni'ma الرجل عبد الله لو كان يصلي من الليل." Says that, Sa'ad says that, Abdullah, what a good person Abdullah is. What a good man Abdullah is. Right? لو كان, if only he was doing what? يصلي بالليل. Okay? Or لو كان يصلي كثرة من الليل. Another riwayah says that if only he was praying at night, or if he actually increased his prayers at night. From that day on, until Abdullah died, he was what? Guys, come on guys, this guy's sleeping. Come on guys, stand up, come on. I want you with the 15 minutes, please. Just stand up, please. Sit nice. Come on. Give me your eyes and everything. So, what does Prophet say? نعم العبد نعم الرجل عبد الله لو كان يصلي من الليل. Now, what a good person is. So among us here, they're very good persons. And maybe what's holding us back is just that Salatul Layl. So he started praying Salatul Layl. At that time, he's only 20 years old. Question is, how many of us here are 20-year-olds and pray Salatul Layl? You don't have to raise your hand, but everyone knows that question. Some of us, we struggle with the prayer, regular prayer. Come for Maghrib, come for Isha, come to the masjid for Dhuhr, or even praying Dhuhr at the school, praying Dhuhr at work. we struggle with that. Right? He never missed any prayer with the Prophet ﷺ. And then when he had that, when Hafsa, radiallahu anha, she came back to tell this what Rasulullah said, from that day he never slept at night, he never left the night prayer, he always prayed night prayer. Not only that, he was somebody who was very humble. I mean, he was among the most knowledgeable people. He has produced a lot of ulamas, right? Among his biggest, students was Ata bin Rabah, who was a very knowledgeable person. And he has a lot of, Ikram, all those people. And he had a lot of students, and even among his students, even some Sahabas. And he was known for this, for the knowledge. And even with that knowledge, he used to be very humble. Very humble, down to earth kind of person. Not only that, he was zahidan fi dunya. He not put any, any kind of a essence of any importance to this dunya. Right? All he did was just survive. Make sure he had clothes, make sure he ate, just to survive, not to eat a lot of food to get bigger, nothing like that. No. Just enough for him to be able to sustain him so he can do what? He can continue worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So he memorized the Quran, he memorized the Hadith, he memorized Lugha, all these things he knows. He was when it comes to a matter of deen, he was very knowledgeable. People will go to him and ask for fatwa. Now, to show that his dislike or disdain for the dunya, one of his brother, he went to the, Arlo Khurasan now it's Tajikistan, Pakistan, Afghanistan, all those places, right? They used to call Khurasan. And they used to be known for garments, for actually come with the best clothes and best kind of utensils, right? And so his brother traveled there, and he brought him clothes, right? Very nice. And Abdullah, he said, he told him that I brought you some clothes, that if you find it, that if you actually, you remove the clothes you have right now and wear this clothes, I brought you a piece of clothes, you would really like it. And Abdullah said, let me touch it. He touched it. It's so smooth. It's one of those the cotton clothes that look like a silk, right? Very nice and smooth and silk-like. And Abdullah says, he jumped and said, is this silk? He said, no, it's not silk, it's just cotton. Look at what he said. He says, وَقَالَ لَا إِنِّي أَخَافُ عَلَى نَفْسِي أَخَافُ أَنْ يَجْعَلَنِي مُخْتَالًا فَخُورًا وَاللَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ كُلَّ مُخْتَالٍ فَخُورٍ. He said, I really fear for my life. I fear for myself. Because I fear that I wear this clothes and it makes me somebody who is arrogant and boastful. Right? So who's what? Arrogant and boastful. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like, Allah says in the Quran, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ كُلَّ مُخْتَالٍ فَخُورٍ. Allah does not like those who are arrogant and who are boastful. I imagine, just a piece of cloth, very nice clothes. Ask what you do. You buy a nice sneakers, or you go on Facebook, right? You show people, right? Is that good? Yeah. You show it off, right? Look, we do that. We forgot that we are Muslim. We're not supposed to do that. I mean, there's nothing wrong having nice sneakers. What is wrong is what? Showing off, right? You buy a car, very nice, wheels. What happens? You stop everybody. You come around, you zoom in the parking lot, you zoom other side because you want us, you really want us to show you a nice wheels, right? That's fakhur, right? He's showing off. He said, I don't want to show off. Imagine just, I am sure he's not going to go out there and say, hey, look at nice clothes my brother brought me. No. Some of us, unfortunately, what we do is, our parents may not have the knowledge that we have now. Like some of us, our parents, they may have not that educated like we educated, right? They work hard, and then they take you to school, you get a degree, and all of a sudden you're like, Dad, I'm educated, man. You just come from a place, like you just come from the third world country. We're showing off. You've forgotten that what? Yeah, from that person, you are looking down upon. Right? Before we start anybody else, at our home, how many of us are kind to our parents? Abdullah ibn Amr, let me tell you how kind he was. He was kind to his father even after his death. Okay? I'll show you an example. Abdullah ibn Amr, He was going one time and he's traveling. And he's traveling with students. When you are an alim, what you're going to have students going with you all the time, right? You have students, right? So he's traveling with him. And there came a guy, very old guy. He is from the Bedouin, right? And he is so disheveled. He is full of dust, disheveled. His clothes started. Abdullah ibn Umar, when he saw this, he saw this guy, he stood up. He was right on his donkey. He actually stepped down from his donkey. He put this man on a donkey. Right? Number one. Number two, he had, clothes, nice clothes, right? Amama, and he put on him. He gave it to him. And he started now, right, what do you call it? This is an alim, he's a teacher. Now he is someone, he's a scholar. Everyone's good part, right? He's now what? Holding the donkey and leading the donkey, and the Bedouin guy, the one everybody else student despised him, right? And some people will say, oh man, he's so dirty, right? What happened, do you think he did? They asked him, Abdullah, who's this guy that you're so kind to? You know what he says? هذا كان عمر أبي. That's his father. He said كان يحب هذا. Umar used to love this guy, which means they were friend to his father, right? So look, this is what Allah says, إن أبر البر أن يود أخي أبيه. That the best of kindness to your parent, or the best of obedience to your parents, is when you are actually obedient and kind to their friend, people they loved. Us, we don't even do that. We don't even love them, not even people they love, right? We even despise people who they go with. I mean, look at the guy. He's rolling with the guys who are coming from shacks, or come from the what do you call they come from from remote areas, from rural places, and all that. So this is the way he's kind to his parent. Not only that, Abdullah ibn Umar anhu, he died. And he was 84 years old. He died in Mecca. And at the age of 84, just like we said Abdullah ibn Abbas, same way, he still looked very strong. Right? So here's what I'm going to tell you. Why are we talking about these Sahabas who are youth? It's because we're all youth here. We all are youth. Right? They had desires just like you have desires. Right? They had challenges just like you have what? Challenges. They had needs just like you have what? Needs. Right? They struggled just like you struggle. But what they did is, they balanced everything. They achieved fame. They achieved what you call status. They achieved what you call respect. And also, they achieved the respect of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? I mean, when Rasulullah says, نِعْمَ الرَّجُلُ عَبْدُ اللَّهِ, that means that this person is going to go to Jannah. He just needs to increase a little bit more prayers. And inshallah, we'll see other Sahaba, inshallah, a youth also, that Rasulullah asked him to do just one thing. It was very simple. I will not even do. And it's simple for us to do it. So, here is this. Some of us, prayer is difficult. What the best thing we can do is, we can start with, if you want to be somebody who will always never miss his prayer, what is the thing you can do? What is one thing that you can do, that's an extra, that you can add, that will make sure that you never miss prayer? Who knows? Huh? No, not self-discipline. Who is it? But that's a good one, though. What is one thing, guys? Who knows it? Muhammad? One thing that if you do, for sure, you will never miss a prayer. Anybody? Amr? Ahmed? No?
Stay on wudu.
That's a good one, mashallah. I like that. I'll get that one more time. Actually, as you pray sunnah prayers, the 2 rak'ah before Fajr, make it a habit, right? The 4 rak'ah or 2 rak'ah before Dhuhr, 2 rak'ah after Dhuhr, 2 rak'ah after Maghrib, 2 rak'ah after Isha. If you pray those prayers, because you know what will happen? You're going to pray 2 rak'ah Fajr, before Fajr Sunnah, then you pray Fajr, right? You pray 2 rak'ah before Dhuhr, or 4 rak'ah before Dhuhr, which is the best. You pray Dhuhr, you pray 2 rak'ah again, right? You pray Maghrib, and then what happens? You pray 2 rak'ah after Maghrib. Or you pray 2 rak'ah before Asr, 2. And then you pray 2 rak'ah after Isha. What's going to happen is, those sunnah prayer you're praying, they actually are they guard for you. They're guarding you from leaving salah. Because when someone leaves the sunnah, it's known. When someone leaves the sunnah, he will leave the farad. Like he will leave the obligatory. If someone does not make any sunnah sawm, for example, you don't fast Monday or Thursday, you don't fast the 6 days of Shawwal, you don't fast the 10th day of Muharram, you don't fast the 9th day of what you call of the Hijjah, which is the Arafah, right? You don't fast a few days before Ramadan in what you call in the month. You don't fast the month of what you call Sha'ban. You don't do that. There is a high chance you're gonna forget what? The fard. It's difficult for you to actually fast Ramadan. It's difficult for you. Same thing if someone does not go to Umrah. It's hard for them to go to what? To Hajj. Same thing. If someone does not give sadaqah, see all the sunnah, right? The sunnah fast is not farad. You don't have to. Allah will ask you why you didn't pray sunnah fast, right? Sunnah, why you didn't pray sunnah prayer. Allah will ask you about that. Allah will never ask you in the judgment why you did not fast a sunnah what? Sunnah fasting. Allah will ask you why you didn't give sadaqah. You will not. Right? But what is sadaqah sunnah for? Charity. What is sunnah for? Zakah. Alms given, right? So zakah, sadaqah is sunnah for zakah. So if you give sadaqah, how small it is. You give $10 here, you give $1 here, you give $100 there, you give sadaqah all the time, and you're used to this. Then when you have wealth and you have enough money to give zakah, oh, it'll be easy for you to give zakah. No question. The first thing you do is give zakah. Can you see that? If you get used to going to Umrah, because Umrah is cheaper, right, than Hajj, right? Right? You go from Umrah to Umrah, what happens? Oh, now I want to go to a real Hajj now. So you will be really excited about it. So this is why I tell you, there's one thing you can do. One thing he mentioned is, again, the Kirin Ismak. Malik. He say having wudu all the time. It's a minor thing. But having wudu all the time will do 2 things for you. One, first of all, it protects you from shaitan. Okay? It protects you from shaitan. It also protects you from evil eye. It protects you from what they call witchcraft. All of that, no one will be able to bewitch you when you have wudu. Right? Then, what happens also? It makes salah easy for you. Because you have wudu, dhuhr time comes, you got 10 minutes between salah, between classes. Instead of going to the bathroom, making wudu, looking for water, what happens? You stand there and pray. That's good, mashallah, yes. So having wudu is a good thing to actually practice. بارك الله فيكم. جزاكم الله خير والله أعلم.